we got ourselves a 67 Renault that we're going to take for a spin. Welcome if you're a new arrival. Well, they happen. Boy, some things on this tablet, you just barely touch it. And it opened up Chrome. That's took care of. Debating on a color choice at the moment.
Guys, I got some great news. Y'all are going to be
You got some great news. No, you don't. I got great news, man. We're going to drive an R8. Well, a Renault 8 Gordini. But still, Joe Rogan, always trying to load up first. He's trying to tell me I ain't been watching enough of his stuff. I want to watch the Bob Lazar. That was a decent one. But that's because that dude's crazy. Do 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 do. Got the sharing done. There you are. Sweet. And you just sit there and look pretty. How are you doing on juice? Yeah, we better. No telling how long this one's going to be. Because I'm just killing time trying to stay up late tonight. Again, as usual. Trying to get myself on that sleep schedule. It ain't working. Because by God, I stayed up late. I still woke up at 7. Blue, it seems. Well, we're not going to go blue. If we got to do something special with it, we're going to make it golden carbon fiber looking. Too bad paint doesn't make a difference in the weight of the car. We need to buy brakes, always. While we're doing that, we can decide where we're going. Probably, if we're going to want to make some cash and build this thing up, we're going to have to go somewhere long. But probably not the mountain. This thing ain't got the juice yet. And even once it gets the juice, who knows? Brakes. All right. We got a car worth driving, maybe. I have to take care of a couple more side quests before we get started. If I don't destroy myself trying to stand up. It happened. Me and my shifter knob almost had an intimate moment. Well, ain't that just a mess? They're probably still outside. Be migrating out there eventually once the sun goes down. Play some cornhole. Bought a little set from the Big Five. A little expensive, but didn't have to wait on Amazon to deliver it that way. Last minute thoughts. Well, that's interesting. You ever open up a pack of these and it took the bottom plastic off instead of the top? I guess I pulled the wrong direction. Well, that's his life. Alright. Well, that's a pretty yellow motor. Let's get out of there. We gotta find a place to drive it. Should have hit the return to main menu button. Oh well. That's the way it goes. I think we're gonna go to NERB. And you remember, was that was a Class E car, huh? Just to be safe. Surprised it's letting me scroll. It's gonna stop eventually. Really need to practice at their Red Rock. I'm a fan of the Nordschleife. I believe it was an E-Class car. We're going to find out. Got the blue dot. Probably the lowest rated car on the track. I'm going to take a bad long time to get around this track. Even longer because I ain't really going to push the car. Just going to kind of cruise it easy. About to get my music set up. In fact, we'll just stick with what is planned. I am good with this jam. Liquids. Record on repeat. November. Talking about oh, you hear it? I got a chirp. Pretty sure this thing's a 4-speed. What are you doing, car? She went very light. That's all right. Oh, the pressure's off. We're running a perfect lap now. But what is that snapback she's got? Easy. This might be a very short testing tune. We can make a lap. Holy cow. Oh, she is a 5-speed. way she corrects is ridiculous. Maybe it's me. Been doing entirely too much drifting. Too much horizon. Probably. On a heavy foot now. Gotta be super touchy with her, that's all. Can you imagine what she's gonna be like when we add power? Holy cow. you're boogieing now. Stop and fix the window, or do we do another lap and make some more money? Let's try and run a legit. Easy, little Gordini. We're just starting to get used to you. Don't be throwing us no weird loops. I gotta say, if you're stuck, now that I've gotten used to its little quirk, well, I've adjusted for its little quirk. It's not bad for, you know, zero things done to it. Driving around with a busted windshield. Seeing's overrated. And I can still see through the cracks a little bit here and there. Yeah. She just needs an upgraded suspension. I don't put tires until I decide if it's going to be that kind of car. Most cars wind up good cars for me because that's what I enjoy. Decent at it. On here anyway. On Horizon, I don't know how those guys get all those points they get. But I ain't had a whole lot of time to tell you what they get either. Just pretty much carry it over. Motorsport tuned into Horizon. It's working, kinda. Keep your eyes on the road. Don't drink and drive. It's dangerous. But I needed a drink. I didn't want to pause. We need some suspension. There we go. Poor thing. New driver level, you say? Just a second. Let's go. Mama saying that I'm Mama said. Mama said. Rock up midnight. What are you telling me? I don't see any issue with it, but whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm smoking. Telling me my keyframe's wrong. Well, all I gotta say is, I don't know how to fix that. But we're gonna make a change here and there, and we'll see how she goes from there. That little spoof out the side. Get some heat in the tires. Little drift, why not? could break the windshield, I'd be faster. Down to the point now where it just seems like I don't drive well without a crack running through the middle of my vision. That sounded dirtier than I wanted. Nice long straightaway to contemplate life. We need to stand. My life ain't great. 3. Papa gave me my and daddy gave me me. cooks downhill. Almost. .30. We were on it. We didn't stay on it. I'm digging the Gordini though. That second lap felt nice. We just got to figure out grip. I'm thinking some wider tires might help this thing out a little bit. Falling. Good Lord. Well, we won't get that one. We're still in E-Class. Rolling down Main Street, would never set. Okay, I'll sing me steady, start ahead, you for free. You ever need a thing, it won't be hard to find me. You're ready to dance to still left in me. You're good, speed that transmission up a lot. No, it's okay. Them tire walls, man. Someday, me and this little T8 are gonna part ways, because I'm meaning to do it. It's okay. If it breaks, it'll give me an excuse to order the one I want. That'll be when I start building the next rig. I want to exit out and adjust the transmission so bad. Cam didn't add a whole lot of oomph to it. Let's go ahead and do that. Early enough, and we already shot that lap in the foot anyway. Nope, wrong button. Why not? Before I forget. Nope, not too many. Little sipper. Could have went some more. You got legs. still just long, long run. We just need more power, and we'll push through them faster. Let's go. Nothing didn't do. Like the power might sort that out. definitely needs some Chinese support. Even with power, I don't think we're doing too good. Ain't even hit 50 here. Got a minute. Hand cramps. It's only pain. Be fine. I can't do it anymore. What I've tried. Not the chances I'm given to you. Just because we have to see what she's like with tires. Hey, it's exactly the upgrade I wanted to put on it this time. And we still stayed in E-Class. By quite a bit, actually. I was worried the tires were going to pop us over. Now I've tried. Maybe I'm done. Maybe chances I've given to you. Good enough. I think the ride height's good. We ain't rubbing when we turn, so all that feels pretty good. It's only too certain on the brakes, but it's a good jam right here. Say love, just let go. Oh God, I can't be so. No, no. enough to spare. A millionaire. Child. Yeah. Keep it on the track, Chris. Yeah, it was bound to happen. Throttle response is faster. Gotta remember that. Turn the foot down a little bit. Man, stomp on it harder, Chris. Stomp on it harder. Lap's already shot. We might as well push the limits and see where they're at. still need some 420 years maybe? I don't know. They're still long. Might have come in there a little hot. That's what this lap's about. Nope. I might have cut that a little sharp. Brain went horizon steering again. Fourth gear. How many performance points I got left? Definitely want some more power. Oops, he's jacked that up right away. Ooh, that saved it at least. I can still see his tail lights. He'll get away though. He's really fast through that windy section up there. Like the high-speed windies, he's quite good at it. I should not speak. Tire wall. Oh. Oh. You know, someday, I think I may have to actually go get this finger checked out. Why the sun's gonna somehow. Saying it for the first time is a lie. Can't take it back. Change everything. What? Catching my wall. Everything that's mine. The temptation marks us into D class, though. Can't do it. Can't do it. I like bumper deletes. I have. This is a grand, isn't it? Yeah. Wrong button. Well, there's the top of the mark for now. Sadness. Let's see if we can sneak in the flywheel without. Nope. Cut this up to 1. And that hops us into the 311 category. And none of that's gonna. Yeah, all that's gonna add too much. Could take out the thickness of the tires and I could put more power in it. Let's see how she handles. We might make that change here in a minute. That seems high, doesn't it? You're never coming home. I ain't doing too bad in a little Gordini. Or, no, it ain't the Gordini that holds that. The Lotus Elan. That car might be worth upgrading to D-Class. That was great. Oh, there she goes. Not. Well. That's, maybe. Oh. Well, I guess we need to finish this lap so we can watch that replay. Again, we don't stop that. Well, he definitely has more power now. My brain's thinking we may have to change our tuning a little bit. She's going to need all the power. But I want to do a good lap on here. See if she gets anywhere near the Lotus. Gotta remember when you get in the grass on this one. Feather the throttle. Soundbar turned off because I forgot to turn it off again. It makes my screen go black. Just for about 2 seconds. I am blind. I gotta remember to turn that thing off. I broke the remote on day one. I haven't replaced it. And so changing the standby settings to never do that. I thought my TV controlled it, but no. And I ain't done enough research to figure out how to do it without the remote. Yeah, I drive better when the windshield's broken. It's just the way it is. Well, she wants to go to 5th gear so bad, but you'll lose speed. I've been here before, in other cars. There's a hill there. If they give us VR, y'all get to see it a whole lot better. If you have a VR, and you have Automobilista, because I think that one does the best with VR. I could be wrong. I don't want to start a debate. It's the one I use. Come and look at this track in VR on there in like the Chevette or something nice and slow. Or if you're a really good driver, take what you want. And you can see the inclines where you don't see them as much on here. They're there, but they don't get you as much because you're a flat surface. I got a couple of VR videos from Verizon and this that I made with the OBS. It's like doing the roller coaster simulators on VR, but it's still pretty interesting. It also gives you a feeling of the elevation changes that you don't really notice on the flat screen. I haven't decided if my rig's even going to have. It'll have a monitor, but because even in non-VR games, you can still play them. And the Metaquest has got that wraparound feature, so you can make it dang near like VR. Just won't have the camera tracking very good. I gotta get a different headband for it. The one that comes with it. It wants to squeeze your face off. I want one that telescopes in and out instead of, I'm gonna see how hard I can squeeze your head so this doesn't move. I mean, PlayStation got it right out the gate. They gave you the option to tilt it and move it in and out. That was nice. Meta was not paying attention. So we'll just put an elastic band, it'll be fine. It won't get extremely warm in there and make them sweat like crazy or anything like that. To miss my PlayStation VR. I never did get the chance to play 7 in VR, but I didn't like the way 7 handled my wheel. It felt very not correct. It's a good way to put it. The PlayStation doesn't seem to put out enough juice. But the computer do. Computer puts out more than my hand can handle sometimes. Got a little high-speed wobble, doesn't she? We're gonna exit so we can see that little mistake we made. It was really wasn't that bad, right? Yeah, just over a couple of times. Allows me a good rollover. They make good short videos. We gotta make you be quiet for a minute. Ooh, another driver level. Gotta love them. We're just gonna go to view, mostly because I think I have to make space and save it. We're just gonna have to watch it too. I don't remember where it was. I like the rail thing, to be honest. Put on the gas, see? I learned this the other day. My gas pedal speeds up the video. I don't play with the replay system very often. Boy, I wish I could do it this fast. Yep, brake pedal back to the... Where did I roll it at? That's the question. I can't remember. I think it's coming. I think it's here in this particular space. That's entertainment. I bounced that around for a second. Boy, that's a... Why was I full on in the throttle the whole time? Alright. Back on your wheels, sir. I don't know what kind of video I'm going to do with that, but there's a lot of paces I'm going to have to clip around because I got goofy with the gas and brake pedal. That's what she's got in the E-Class. We really should try to lay down a lap, but I don't think I'm catching that guy right now. We got to take a hiatus from this particular format for a minute, or at least change of scenery. We'll go E-Class around the mountain. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. She's feeling very drifty, like very, very drifty, in a scary way. Like, I could probably make this car drift. Just the way it sits. It would be hard. Oh, wait, we're at the top of 300 now, so we ain't gotta go digging for it. Unable to meet. Did I move accidentally into D class? I'll bet I did. I moved into C class. What's wrong with you, game? That's why you gotta use the keyboard. Now we're in D class, you goob, because we bumped it. Now we're in E class. It only took 3 tries, 4 tries. I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. All right. We'll just see if we can even. We're gonna take our time. I think. I don't think we're gonna be chasing the ghost. I am gonna take some of that. Well, I don't know. It's a mountain in mountain-like camber. We might leave it alone for a lap. We'll see how she goes. We got money, but we don't got any more room. If we put anything else on this car, she goes into D class. We might do so after this, just so I can put more rubber under it. Maybe that last stage of weight reduction. We get her up into C class though, she's drifting. Real Cheesy Mash. What a name. I feel like I could have gone a whole lot shorter on the transmission. Thank goodness for an e-brake. Thank goodness I have an e-brake. Yeah, I might have touched it a little harder than I should have. I may or may not have brushed that wall. I can't believe I can still see his dot. I don't expect to ever see him in front of me again, but it is surprising that I can actually see him still on the map. She would definitely benefit from a shorter transmission though. Definitely. We're leaving it in E-Class, we need sharper gears. And a better driver. That might help all my cars. Transmission. That was a rough life. Me as a driver. First gear got to be a stout one. Excuse the downshift in the tunnel. Was it necessary? Probably not. But I enjoy it anyway. Hit the wall. We've done good so far. The downhill's terrifying. I'll bet in this car. wall was close. Oops. Easy car. I understand. We need to take a break. I got you. We're gonna move this one into D class. Maybe take that Lotus Elan for a cruise along with the D class upgrades as well. 'Cause obviously, that thing's phenomenal. This thing's pretty good. I kind of like it. But she's a wild child. My brain's still like, I bet you could drift it. And yeah. But I don't have enough good little, this is fun to cruise kind of cars. Didn't get too long. That little feller's fast, man. Of course, if I'd adjust the transmission in this thing, because right now she's a little long. Should have took the brake. Can't believe it didn't take the lap away. Normally you just got to barely bump something. It's like, ah, invalid. We've broken the rules. And that curve gets me a lot. That's the end of it. Ugh. Finger says, no, Moss, take a break. And I agree, Finger. We need to take a break. I don't know why you speak Spanish, seeing as I don't. Real cheesy mash at 10:51. I can't beat you. 10:51 was the best I think I can do. Well, actually, I'm real tempted to shorten that transmission by another 10, 15 points and try again. Because that transmission's long. But then you gotta remember downshifts are gonna be more dangerous. So many decisions. I think we're gonna move it into the D class. And to do that, I'm gonna do so from my garage. Because I don't like the auto upgrade. I used to do it all the time. Auto upgrade. Be like, whatever the fates give me. Bam. Well, now it's showing my Scirocco's the best in that one. Oh, wait, Kaido. That's right. You don't want to, Chris. It's okay, though. Oh, wait, no, we're not letting it do the upgrades. So we got to upgrade the Elan to D class. And the Renault. We're right here by the Lotus, so... Whoa. I don't have one that's still there. I think I took her all the way to B class. Well. To the right. We'll just take the Renault on now. If it's going to be a tire upgrade, more than likely, if we can afford it. And then we'll start throwing power at the son of it. Maybe a weight reduce. A weight reduce might be a good idea. That is not the right car, sir. That one. We don't want to look at that pink abomination. It's actually a really good car. It drives great. I hate it. It's so ugly. Why is it so good? Alright. I know I could fix a lot of things in the handling of this car if I were swapped to the racing transmission, but I like this one better. Do we want to move up the weight with it? Nah. We're going to toss $1,000 just down the tubes right there. We're still at 330. So your max. I don't think we're going to make it. Let's see here. Air filter or intake, which is more important? Intake puts us over. Air filter puts us over. Exhaust puts us over. We moved up in tires, so we can just hop the front tires down a side. Leave the fat ones in the rear, because, you know. And now the exhaust should, geez, still puts us over. Right on the top, right there it is. A dumb luck right there, what we call that. We could put some aerodynamics on it. That'll make it stick to the track better. But you gotta remember where we're going. The bumper deleted. And to put a wing on is gonna make the whole front end just squirrely as heck without doing also the front. What you got for fronts? Well, I don't like any of those choices, so we're just gonna leave it alone. I can't afford this anymore. I accidentally spent too much money. And it would move me into C class. Which would be nice. We go into C class, we're drifting it. I already said it. But we're going to go find out how she do on the NERB. And it's a Mountain in the top of D class, if we can even drive it. It's debatable. We did up the tire quite a bit. Quite a bit. I did it again. I should have went to the return to main menu thing. Ris. Ravals. Class E. Seeing as we're already warm on Kaido, we'll do a couple laps here first. This is where that Clio sits. Oof. Where are you at, Mr. Oh, up here. I've gone to blind. I went looking for the blue version again. I guess I could turn my music back on. You did? Well, that's so bad without it. Why would you turn it back on? You're in here. That's okay. We need to get up and stretch the legs anyway. We've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. Really? Don't look at the clock again. The clock will get you in trouble. I think I'll have me one of these here Petsies. Stretch my legs a little bit. Have one of these smoking sticks. Make my room smell better. Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, let's light ourselves a little candle in here. Starting to smell like a sweaty man. Time to clean. Thinking I'll hire me a cleaning lady one of these days when I'm rich. Of course, eventually all this stuff is going to move into a outdoors building. And I'm going to rebuild my rig. I want to try and build one with motion, but I don't want to spend so much money. So much money. I just had a shop built, and that was so much money. Concrete's what it was. Oof. The shop, not too bad. I can pay that off in payments, but concrete people, they tend to want their stuff right away. Like, pay us now. And I get that. Concrete be expensive. But they did a really good job. Y'all are down in the southeast New Mexico place. The concrete, man. I like them a lot. They were really nice people. They worked with my budget really nice. And that's hard to find nowadays. All right, Gordini. We're gonna take our time and get used to you. Let's not go chasing the ghost. She sounds mean. Darn Mini Cooper. I haven't bought that one yet. It's on my list, but I'm afraid if I buy it, I'm gonna rear-wheel drive swap it. think the thing I like about all this rival stuff the most is I don't feel the need to be top of the list. I just want to beat that guy. And then we'll worry about the rest after we beat him. I know I ain't going to ever be the top of the list because, well, to be honest, those guys probably cheated to get there. And I ain't willing to do that. And if they did, man, they're really good. Some of them times are just like, I don't know. I can't believe I didn't touch that guardrail. I bet we don't have any headlights anymore. That was a solid black. We don't have a bumper, you know. I think we're gonna drift tune it. Although I do care for it a lot on here. And we still got another lap. Why wouldn't we? Really likes the downhill. The bobsled very nicely. That was poor. She was so nice, and then she's like, nah. Okay. I think we may have to call it for a little while. 3 hours is good for the moment. We're going to be on late tonight. Doing some more. Probably this or Horizon or a mix. I'm not real sure which. That car is fun. It's only going to get better. It's going to drift. Probably later tonight we'll drift it, and then we'll probably play some Horizon. Hopefully. We'll see how all things work out. And tomorrow it's off to the night shift, so y'all may or may not start seeing me at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 7 when I get home in the mornings. We'll see. Till then, y'all take it easy.